The VTC meeting of the Security Council is called to order. The provisional agenda for this meeting is the situation in the Middle East. The agenda is adopted. The Security Council will now begin its consideration of item 2 of the agenda. I wish to draw the attention of Council members to document S/2020/654, which contains the text of a draft resolution submitted by Belgium and Germany. The voting procedure for the draft resolution was launched on 6 July 2020 and concluded on 7 July. In accordance with the special written procedure agreed by Council members, as set out in the letter from the President of the Security Council dated 27 March 2020, S/2020/253. Voting result. The result of the voting is as follows: 13 votes in favor, 2 votes against, no abstentions. The draft resolution has not been adopted owing to the negative votes of 2 permanent members of the Council. Before I close the meeting, for the co-pen holders, Belgium has asked to make a statement, and I pass the floor to Belgium.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Just to clarify, this is not an explanation of vote, but I would just like to very briefly say a few words on behalf of the co-sponsors, Germany and Belgium, about this process. And as you know, the co-pen have strived for consensus on this purely humanitarian text. We have worked on the basis of the call of the Secretary General for renewal for 12 months of the 2 border crossings in the northwest of Syria. We have also strived to reopen Yarubia, given the challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic, and following the call of the Secretary General for more cross lines and more cross-border access to the northeast of Syria. Now, we understood that reopening Yarubia was a red line for one member state, although this was broadly supported. In our search for consensus, we have thus put forward a text with the 2 crossings in the northwest for a duration of 12 months. We regret that this was not acceptable for all Security Council members, but this is not yet over. We will, in the coming hours and days, further engage in efforts with all parties to come to consensus. This is an important responsibility of the Council. We hope we can find unity in the interest of the Syrian people in need. Thank you.
I thank the co-pen holder for his statement, and I pass the floor to the Russian ambassador.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Christoph. This is also not an explanation of vote, although I thought that the previous statement was partly an explanation of vote. Our explanation of vote is enclosed with our voting letter that we sent to you, Mr. President. Mr. President, we also understand, like we've said in the explanation of vote, the need to continue cross-border in Northwest, and for that purpose we tried to explain how we see it continue. It didn't work out in the resolution that was not adopted, but we introduced our own text which we circulated recently and requested the presidency to put it on vote. And I hope that we can adopt it. And I would like to once again, to say what I've been saying constantly myself and through our PCs, that the cross-border in Idlib will remain and will continue. So I don't think that we have to break lances over it. The cross-border, if the resolution is adopted, will stay. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the Russian ambassador for his statement, and I would like to remark as chair that we'll put the proposed resolution by Russia in blue. I give the floor to the representative of the United States, Rodney.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wasn't going to say anything either. This is not an explanation of vote. Our explanation of vote will come in the coming hours. I just want to say that we appreciated what the pin holders have tried to do here. While this was something that we were able to support, it didn't fulfill all of the needs that we thought were important in this, and that we're ashamed. We're ashamed by what this council has to do right now because of the cynical attempts of the Russian Federation and the People's Republic of China to put politics above the lives of the Syrian people. We're sad that that's had to happen, but we look forward to continue working with the pin holders to find a way forward. Thank you.
I thank the representative of the United States for his statement, which was not an explanation of vote, and I give the floor to the Chinese ambassador. Jun, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. And it has been the established practice of the Council since March that a VTC after the voting procedure is concluded is simply to announce the result of the vote. And then for members wish to make their explanation of vote, they may do it in a written way. However, I do find it that we are having a different practice. And again, like the previous speakers, I'm not making an explanation of vote. I have done that in a written way. You will, all members will know that in a few minutes' time. With regard to what's being discussed, I simply wish to say that China attaches great importance to the humanitarian need of the Syrian people in Syria. We have been doing our utmost in helping the Syrian people to of their humanitarian needs through bilateral channels. Meanwhile, we are also supporting the efforts of the international community in helping the Syrians in meeting the humanitarian needs. With regard to the draft resolution under discussion, we have been actively engaged in that, and we have also presented our amendments. In our view, while we try to do whatever we can to help the Syrians, we should also stop those wrongdoings, especially those wrongdoings through the way of unilateral coercive measures. And without lifting those coercive measures, definitely whatever we do, we are not able to solve the whole problem in a holistic way. So that's why we strongly urge those countries who are imposing unilateral sanctions against Syria to respond to the call of the Secretary General, to the call of the Special Representative of the Secretary General, and to lift those unilateral coercive actions. And fortunately, we have those amendments have not been accommodated in the current text. We sincerely hope, like what the pen holders said, that we continue to have our discussion and then to try our best to find a way out and to narrow our differences. And we reject those blames from the United States. And it's once again demonstrating the hypocritical approach adopted by this country, while they are imposing unilateral sanctions, killing the Syrians, and then they are also politicizing the process of the Security Council. So we reject that sort of blame. And thank you.
I thank the Chinese ambassador for his intervention. I give the floor to the representative of the United States.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to correct one fact that was misrepresented by the Chinese representative. As our ambassador has made clear on numerous occasions in this council, and that we've made clear on numerous occasions, unilateral sanctions from the United States have humanitarian exceptions, they have humanitarian exemptions, and they in no way harm the people of Syria. The only thing that's harming the people of Syria and preventing them from getting the assistance that they need is the Assad regime being helped out by the People's Republic of China and the Russian Federation. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of the United States for his statement. I see that no other member of Security Council asked for the floor. The meeting is adjourned.